Should it be like a college lecture where I wait 10? Maybe I'll give it 10. YouTube, are you okay? Because I legit just restarted after. That was bizarre. Where did that come from? Holy crap. Hi, Shar. Yeah, YouTube did something weird. So it tells me how long I've been live for, and right before you jumped in chat, it said almost like 4 minutes, and then when I literally looked up, and it reset to 17 seconds. I'm like, where the hell did the time literally go? So I don't know. Maybe it'll keep doing that. Maybe I won't get a definitive length of time. It'll just be every 4 minutes it resets to 0. But hello, Ira. Hello, Wolf. Oh, nice. Very cool, Rainbow. I like that. In just context to my husband's comment, we were watching Catfish before I came in here, and I left before the end of the episode. So I guess the ending was pretty WTF. I mean, that whole episode was pretty WTF. Yes, hello to everybody. Hello, hello. Wonderful to see all of you. I hope everybody had a great week. I had a pretty good one. Nothing significant happened, which is good. I'd rather have a low-key week than a high-stress week, so I'm not going to complain too much. But I hope everybody's doing well. Oh, nice. Well, happy early birthday to your sister. I mean, they told the two to just ignore each other. Glad we agree on Free Britney and don't talk to each other. Interesting. Week's been good. Allergies were a bit haywire through my school. Love the new video. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the video. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the video. And yes, it's very sad that the Queen of England has passed, but she is now with her. She's now with her family and her husband. So that is good. That is good. We shall just see what is to come with King Charles III. And now that Prince William is now officially the Prince of Wales, and Kate Middleton is now officially a princess, which I thought was pretty cool. She was a duchess for so long. I'm like, will she ever be princess, or will she just jump to queen? Nope, she got to be princess, which is awesome. Since we are with my dad this weekend, my dad. Oh, nice! iPhone 13, dope. I think your son. Yeah. King Charles is now taking over with Queen Consort Camilla, and William is now Prince of Wales officially, and Kate Middleton is now Princess of Wales, and the children are also princes and princesses of Wales instead of Cambridge. So that would be really weird that your last name changed every time somebody in your family died because you went up a little bit in the succession. Like for the longest time, the kids were Cambridge, and now all their last names will change to Wales. And same with William and Kate. Their last names are officially changed. It's weird. I'm like, why not? They have official last name, like they have family names. Why not just go with the family names? the memes that have come out of the queen's death are like verging on legendary. Their last name is Wales, Wales. Traditionally, the first son of a king is the Prince of Wales. It's a small It's a small province within the UK, and that was traditionally the firstborn's right is to be the Prince of Wales. That tradition goes back very long. So now they're known as he's now known as Prince William of Wales, and his children all have the last name of Wales, Wales. So it's weird. Princess Diana is probably should probably stay far, far away. This is a question for everybody. Who is in the creepypasta fandom? I know of some, but I never really was active in it. Some of them are really good, though. Why? What's up, Ira? What have you learned? What have you discovered in the creepypasta world? Make me feel old, Char. Creepypastas used to be a huge thing. It kind of still is, but now we look more at them as just fun ghost stories. Before, they used to be so well perpetuated that people believed them. And they date all the way back to the days when Nintendo had a monthly magazine that would come out, and they would do their April Fool's pranks, and people didn't realize they were pranks right away, so they would do them, and they became legend after that. So creepypastas have been going on for a good time. They can be fun, they can be weird, they can be just plain dumb. Just depends on who did it and for what reason. Some of the cool ones are like the different Pokemon mods and stuff that come about. I went to the mall. Some friends saw cosplayers and spy. Nice, awesome, Rainbow. That's amazing. I listened to them a few months ago. Yeah, like I said, it's more just as I come across them. I'm sorry, Char, that sucks. But hey, you just have to do your part and do better. And I will let you in on this. Teachers do notice when one student is doing the work versus like a collaborative effort. I actually was in a group in a history class. We had probably one of the laziest kids in the grade in our group, and our teacher gave us, like me and the 5 other people that were working on it, an A. She gave him a C. So they do notice. Don't worry. As long as you do your part and you do your part well, it'll become very evident to your teacher what's going on. I was in the fandom in 2017. I think I don't remember how old I was. I gotta think. Nice. One fandom that really kind of fascinates me is the SCP. That one's pretty cool. I like that one. Just the idea of coming up with different creatures that do different things in the world and how they're contained and what they can do is just amazing to me. It's me, another girl, and that boy. Me and the girl did all the work. Yep, and I'm sure it will be very much reflected in your grade that you did all the work and he did nothing. So don't stress too much. I know it's always frustrating getting paired up with one of the laziest people, but teachers, as you know, as kind of oversightful they can be, they can at least reward it. They do at least know to reward true effort most of the time. That may have changed since I was in school, but I'm hoping that teachers at least have kept up that amount of integrity. They got out of jail. Yeah, they were tried as minors, so they couldn't be held for super long. Yeah, because if I remember correctly, they were like 14 when it happened. 14, 15, and they decided, they ruled that they could only try them as minors instead of adults. So most of the time with that, they're either released at 18 or 21. Once you're in the creepy realm pasta or creepy pasta realm, God, I'm sorry, tongue tied. But yeah, those two girls were tried as minors, so they got out sooner than they would have if they had been tried as adults. But they were tried as minors, one because of their age, and two their mental state. Um, they were almost declared unfit for trial because they were both so very much believing in their idea of the Slenderman. So they almost didn't even get passed to stand for trial. So the only reason they did, I think, was because of the atrocity of the crime and the fact they showed that they were trying to hide it. They showed that hiding it meant they thought about it, so they didn't just act impulsively, and they didn't just leave it as whatever fantasy they had. They actually put in an effort to clean up the body because they knew there were real world consequences. So I think that's why they were declared fit to stand trial. Did you hear about J.K. Rowling being canceled? She's always getting canceled. That's honestly not new. That's like they've been trying to cancel her for like the last 5 years. So I'm like, Honestly, for me, I don't even like her anymore because she tries to retcon her own canon all the time. I'm like, chick, either settle on a timeline, settle on events and facts, or just leave it up for interpretation. Stop letting there be a timeline. My little sister asked me if I know this person in my grade. I'm like, I forget people's names that were in my grade since 3rd grade. Right. I remember in school, I was in the cooking class, and then the girls I was teamed up with didn't know how to whisk eggs. Oh, God. That's funny. That's how I was able to do this. I was like, learn from my mom. Thinking of making a small business for baking. Nice. That'd be awesome, Rainbow. As long as you're passionate about it and you feel like it's something you could commit to, go right ahead and do it. I encourage it fully. Plus, I love baking. Well, I love eating other people's baking. Me baking, I'm terrible. I made my daughter's cupcakes over the weekend, well, for her birthday, and they exploded in the oven. I want to say exploded, I don't mean like they went boom or anything. They still cooked. I filled them too much, I think. I didn't even think I had filled them that much. Like when I poured it in, it was still a decent amount before the top. So I'm like, oh, it's got room. Apparently it still was too much. I should have like done just barely on the bottom. That would have been enough. We were in the 11th grade. Oh, God. I at least knew how to whisk an egg in the 11th grade. I loved doing that part when I was helping my mom with baking. Really got into the adventurous. So my original character. Nice. Very cool, Era. Remember last year when I had to do Flower Baby, someone named her Flower Mistake. Oh, God. That's good. That's good. My sister didn't do the Flower Baby thing. They actually got them those robot babies. Those robot babies are worse than real babies. I think they were deliberately set up to encourage people not to be teen parents, because so after I had my kid, yes, they cry, yes, they want you, yes, all of that. But the mechanical baby that my sister dealt with, like if you didn't get to it and put the bracelet against its neck within 30 seconds, you started losing points. It was like for every minute after that, you lost a point off your grade. So my sister had to carry it with her everywhere, and like even in her car, like she had to pull over off the side of the road to feed this thing, to register it and feed it. And I'm like, you can at least wait with a real baby until you get home. Yeah, the crying's annoying, but you can at least wait until you're both safe. Yeah, I think those mechanical babies were done deliberately to discourage teen pregnancy, because babies really aren't that bad. They're not like you have to do it within like that amount of time. It's more like you have the time to get somewhere safe for both of you. Those mechanical babies, did not give you that leeway. How did S's birthday? It went really well. She very much enjoyed her decorations this year. Last year she didn't really notice them as much. This year she did. She really liked them. It was princess themed, not any specific princess, just princess in general, because she likes all of them. So I'm like, I like this, and I didn't want to do over the top Disney princess either, because they just kind of look gaudy. The decorations do. So I went with like a simple princess theme, and we did chocolate cupcakes with chocolate frosting, and she liked those. She was hesitant eating it at first because she doesn't really get cupcakes all the time, or cake in general all the time. She gets more cookies and stuff. So she tried that and she liked it. And then she was obsessed with her presents. She got a baby doll from my parents. She got a backpack from my parents. She got a lot of stuff that she really wanted, and she's just been obsessively like playing with all of them. Like she does it in turns. She'll cycle through all of her toys now to make sure everything's played with. I'm like, that's a great plan to prove that you can play with all of them, but geez, if it doesn't make a mess. Well, thank you, Ira. This channel actually has videos on it. That's cool, Rainbow. If you're just maybe as an idea when you're trying to promote your new baking business, you could do little tutorials and baking videos and stuff for your channel too. That'd be really cool. Glad we never did the baby thing, and it was flour. I think it would probably be like wrong stuff. So whenever I hear the baby one, the flower baby one, I think of three things. One, Ron Stoppable. Two, Niles Crane and Frasier, because they did a whole episode on that, and he was terrible with that flower. It was horrible. It's terrible. It was great though. And then the third one is Terry McGinnis and Batman Beyond. I think I've mentioned this episode where they have the egg, and he got the best grade because he actually stimulated the baby's mind by taking it out as Batman. And the others got C's because they just did the basic care. They didn't do much else, which I thought was great. Let's see, remember my dad. Yes, do that. Absolutely do that. I think my favorite thing is seeing grandparents and parents that don't really understand their kids' interests, taking them out shopping for those. And they're just like, sure, as long as it's not drugs. They don't care. They're just like, sure, it's not harming anybody for this. I don't understand why you're interested in it or what it is you're interested in. But hey, it's not hurting anybody. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead, buy it, whatever you need for it. For me, for my stuff, I buy my own stuff. So my mom would not buy me anime related things. She actually didn't want me watching anime. Got introduced to it in college. So, and even then I didn't really watch it all that much until I moved out. And I got Crunchyroll when it was a beta. I've had Crunchyroll since it was in beta, and they had all this old anime on there. So I watched all of that stuff. Some of the old obscure anime. And I'm not saying that to sound like bougie about it, but I'm just like, it was so beta. They didn't even have anything really current. And what they had current, I wasn't really interested in at the time. So I watched a lot of the older ones just because I'm like, I don't know what's good. So let's just pick at random and see if it's good. I also watched a lot on Amazon Prime too. They had a lot of older stuff too. So that's how I got introduced to Loki Ragnarok, which is a really good one. I enjoy it. It makes absolutely no sense after like episode 12, but it was still good. I'm like, no, it had more than 12 episodes. It was one of those that actually did go pretty far. It made no sense after episode 12, but it made more sense than the manga. I also watched Orphan. They're remaking it right now, but they haven't remade the full series. It was a good series. I loved it. I don't know why they remade it. It was amazing when it was. So I recommend watching the original one. I mean, it's on Crunchyroll now, up to episode, I think I saw it was 12 or 14. So I recommend it. That one was really good. It told a whole complete story. If you like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood or anything similar to that, it's a good one for you to watch. It's really, really good. It's great music and hot. not good. My school never did like the baby thing. We don't know if we're possibly doing it or not. I hope not, because I'm not good for handling little kids when they're crying. Yeah, it's a common reaction. It's actually a very common reaction in a lot of people, that they don't know what to do with the crying baby, because if it's not theirs, they're not really equipped to handle it. I think that's what Mom was like, as long as you're not doing drugs or killing someone good. That's kind of the mom I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be like, you know what? As long as it's not anything that's gonna get anybody hurt or killed, fine. I'll just do some research to make sure I at least know the basics of it, because I don't want to be like some of those parents who are like, oh, I want to buy my kid GTA 5. Do you really want to buy your 10-year-old boy GTA 5? Do you really? Because it has prostitution, drugs, murder, police chases, like simulated sex, all sorts of things. Do you really want your 10-year-old to be watching and doing this? The amount of parents that didn't know what the hell GTA 5 actually was is astonishing. Because once you inform them, they don't want to buy the game anymore. I didn't care if that cost me a sale. I was not going to let that kid walk out thinking he duped his parents. Except I was Dragon Ball, so I called him an old man who alive. Nice. I have a baby alive, so I think I'm a good parent. I mean, you can't really judge how you're going to be as a parent until you are one. I mean, you can say, oh, I at least like babies enough to keep one around, or to at least have one of my own. But they're a lot of work. And not even just baby, like they're like the baby stage, the baby stage. Very, very easy. Very easy. So thinking about playing Kingdom Hearts, should I play it? Yes. I highly recommend playing that one as well. So the story won't make sense. Even across the 13 games it has, it doesn't make sense, but it's a really enjoyable game. You get to see your favorite Disney characters in different ways. For example, the tutorial is all held in the Colosseum in Greece with Hercules, and Hades is the first villain. There in the first two, in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, you have Beauty and the Beast. That whole thing was awesome. I loved that part. You have the Little Mermaid. It's not as fight heavy as some of the other sections, but it's really cool just to kind of hear the music and interact with the characters. So if you like Disney, if you like Final Fantasy type games, there you go. It's a perfect marriage of both. Oh no, she let us punch the crap out of each other. Yep. See, my mom didn't tolerate that, but we would, verbally attack each other. My mom didn't like the physical attacking. It's just fun with verbal. As long as we were just, she would stop us if she thought we were going too far, but most of the time, the verbal jabs would come when she wasn't around. So that's how we got around that, and that's how our sibling rivalry got handled. We didn't really have rivalry. We're just 3 different personalities that didn't always get along, or who knew how to push the other one's buttons really well. That was me. I knew how to push their buttons really well. My brother and sister, I love them very much, but they were fun to see get all wound up sometimes. If you're just bored, it happens. You're 16, your siblings around, you're bored. You just say a couple of sentences, and there you go. You have entertainment for the next hour or two. My mom hates it. Me and my sister's rough house. Yeah, there you go. Guys can't be on long line. I'm about to fall asleep. I just go back home. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Completely understand, CL. I really do. But I'm glad you at least were able to make it here for a little bit. But sleep well. I hope you had a good day. Kicking. Half of my childhood I spent around my cousins. They're all boys, and I have only one girl cousin. She's like 2 years younger than me. That's cool. I have four cousins, four first cousins technically, and I spent a grand total of my life. If I have to measure my life, I'd say maybe 4 years, 4 or 5 years out of 27 with them. Yeah. So I didn't really know my cousins well, and I'm kind of glad of that. But I'm glad you at least had that influence in your life. I did not. It's 10:30. I almost fell asleep in the car. Oh, that sucks. I have a hard time falling. See, I have no hard time falling asleep on road trips. That's my problem. I could fall asleep in the car easily. Sometimes even when we're just driving back from one of the cities around us, and it's like a 45-minute, hour-long drive coming back, I can pass out. I am never comfortable. I'm never comfortable sleeping in a car because my head rules, but I can do it easily. Oh, bye, Rainbow. I hope you have a good night. It was good to see you. I had to cheer today in the hot sun at 10 a.m. and I got a sunburn. I almost passed out. I'm so mad. Oh, I'm so sorry, Shar. That sucks. CL for me, a lot of it, if I'm warm, like if it's pretty warm in the car, I can easily fall asleep. If I've had food, I can fall asleep. And if I have my music, I can fall asleep really easily. I don't fall as deep asleep as normal, and then at some point when I wake up, I can feel the car moving, and my brain takes a while to, catch up to the fact that I'm in a moving vehicle. So I get like seasick. So, user beware, I guess. Mom could always break us up just by telling us to knock it off. Just all it doesn't mean we're scared. Right? You're always scared of your mom. Doesn't matter how old you get, you're always scared of your mom. Said it in the morning. Well, good luck with editing, and thank you again for stopping by. My big sister probably did most of the raising of me and my little sister while my parents were at work. I did not have to raise a single one of my siblings, thank God. I don't know what I would have done. They probably wouldn't have lived past a certain age. I don't think they would have lived. But for me, with me, I was out of the house. I was off at college by the time my siblings were by the time my mom was even like working. Because my mom was a stay-at-home mom until I think I graduated and moved out, and then she got a job either at that time or just shortly after. I can't remember exactly when. But bye, CL. Have a good night. Sleep well. I always hated counting. I don't know if I ever got to 3, but I know what would happen if she did. I got to 3 a couple of times. I never liked the results, so I tried not to get to 3. Yeah, my mom didn't work until I was well and truly out of the house. So I got lucky on that one. My siblings were teenagers. I was a young adult, so I didn't have to worry about raising them. I just had to listen to what happened. Because that's my problem. So I'm very thankful for that. My mom said that she was going to sign me up for therapy. She never did, so I'm kind of mad about it. Just maybe she forgot, Char. Just remind her, make her know that you really want it, and maybe, if you have somebody picked out, maybe you could make the appointment for yourself. Or if they just need your parent next to you, you can just, sit next to her, call them up and say, okay, and then pass it over to her and be like, hey, Mom, I need you to just confirm that I can do this, basically. So that is one of the scariest things you will ever do as an adult, to make your own appointments. Because, you have to call and they ask you questions. You're like, I don't know any of this information, but I should, but I don't. But I should, but I don't. I was always nervous making doctor's, like, I can make doctor's appointments for my kid just fine. I have no issue doing that. It's making appointments for myself that I have issues with. I'll talk to her about it Monday. Good. Definitely do that. And definitely, again, take the initiative if you need to. If you already have somebody picked out that you'd like to go see, call them. Call their office, see if they can set up the appointment for you. Like, if you can set it up without your mom, or if you just need her to confirm that, yeah, you can, there you go. Show her that you're serious about this. Maybe it'll kind of encourage her to be more proactive and in your road to, in your journey to getting your mental health better for yourself, or go to the any appointment, any kind of appointment is just hard to do on your own. I like doing it through my phone, like where I don't have to talk to anybody and I could just set it up through a calendar or whatever. I love doing that. I prefer doing that to calling and going, hey, I need to set up an appointment. I hate talking to the receptionist. I always feel like I'm getting judged. Oh, it's like, do you know I've never done this before? Can you tell? Is it in my voice? Is it in my tone? Is it in the fact that I don't know any of the information you're asking? For me, sometimes road trips, I'm trying to get to sleep, but it's like loud little kids. Headsets are amazing. Sorry, I thought I said that light up. But no, headsets are amazing for trying to fall asleep in a car. I used to have, way before I ever had an iPod, I had those little CD players, those little handheld portable ones, where you had to put the CD in and you could only listen to that. And you couldn't randomize or anything. You could kind of skip, but you didn't want to. And that's how you learned most every song on the album, was just listening. But I remember those. We thought they were awesome when they were. But if you had them in your lap during a road trip and you fell asleep, they fell. And it was usually that would wake you up, because you'd hear it skip in your ear, or you'd feel like your headphones get pulled off in the fall. You'd feel them snap because they ejected from the little drive, the little port. Yeah, that was fun. It's not a Walkman. It was a CD player. It was not a Walkman. A Walkman, I don't know, because I didn't have one, but I think they were the ones with the cassettes that played cassettes. They were the handheld ones that they were a handheld a portable music device that you could put a cassette in. And a cassette is a tape that like a VHS tape, but smaller, and you just fit in the Walkman or in your car radio. I never had a Walkman. I had a CD player. I had a portable CD player, and I thought that was the shit. And then iPod came out, and I'm almost like, the iPod is better. I don't know why I still like this CD thing. And then we finally got iPods when I was 12. I want to say I was 12 when we got one. Oh, geez, way to make people feel old. Well, my dear, you and I are both, you're verging on 30. I am verging in my late 20s. So, yeah, we're gonna remember terms and things that these people will have never heard unless they're, going through the Smithsonian and seeing this stuff on display. You want to talk about feeling old? Yep. I was stunned to see that they had a 90s exhibit in the Smithsonian. Again, and it had all the stuff, I think it even had some of the early 2000s models too. I'm like, we're not dead. We're not a dead generation. But then I know how our parents felt whenever we would go to museums and stuff, and we would be like, oh my gosh, it's a typewriter that's so old. And they were using them back in the 70s and 80s when it was still a thing. And we were saying that was old. I understand how my parents feel now. I know the best way to make people feel old is telling me what year did like a movie or video game come out. Like Kingdom Hearts was 2002, Treasure Planet. Yep, it was. Oh, I feel I know. Really, when you have to bring up that, I remember that thing I'm worried. I took a science test on Friday. She never graded it. I'm scared because I studied. I honestly liked it when it took them a while to grade. I'm like, I don't want to know, because then my mom would ask me and I'd have to tell her. Yeah, it was always just better that they took their time grading it. But I understand the worry. I do understand the worry. I just always preferred it when they didn't grade it right away. My God, it teases me. I would take my daughter to the Smithsonian, but I'm like, how old am I going to feel when I walk through there and I see stuff from my classrooms? I think he's talking about this box. Oh, it's not even open. I mean, what do I get if I don't open the box? This is like the don't press the button scenario. What do I get if I don't open the box? Open the box. Oh, you're good, Ira. You're good. We just like to bitch about it. Because we can. We're finally old enough. We can bitch about things when we're younger. I mean, what do you want? Well, what I wanted, it is now closed to get. But I wanted a matcha, but we drove right past Human Being on the way to Walmart. What should I do? I shall decide later. But if I don't end up opening it, please everybody watch text stream so you can see what was in the box. Oh, sad news. Aki Bento is now being discontinued. They are ending. So their final box is called Sayonara, and I've ordered it and I will be getting it and I will film it. I can either film it or I can do it on live. I will put it up as a vote right when I get the box. We will either do it on live or I will film it. So. Who remembers 4 kids? I do. If anything, I'm going to make everybody feel old because I'm probably the youngest right now. Yeah, you're good, Shar. It's fine. Yeah, Moon's right. We're old enough to make a bitch about anything and everything. Yep. What the hell? Yeah. I don't know if you're saying what the hell to tech or what the hell to the Akibento thing, but yeah, the Akibento thing, I was devastated to learn. I'm like, no wonder they didn't want to sponsor me. I think everybody was going to go nuts when you go and open that box. I know, right? Oh, the bento. Yeah. But like I said, I will either open it on stream or I will open it in the video. I might do a little bit of both. I might do it on stream officially, but then I'll film a video just to have it. Because that's really sucky news that it was going to end this month. It's really sad. Very sad. Very, very sad. I was like, how can something this big end? But maybe they're merging with another company and they're going to be more merch based versus the goodie box. Maybe try open the box around. No, I'm not going to mess with Tech and open his box. He is going to do that for his stream, and I don't want to ruin that for him. Whoa, my camera went fuzzy. Wow, the camera went really weird. You're not taking my Aki Bento from me. And I'm not taking your box from you, so chill out. There, it went less fuzzy. Hate cramps. Oh, dude, I'm so sorry, Shar. She thinks you're... And I know this channel is a lot of cosplay, but I do want to try branching out just because I don't know how. Just because I want to do other things than just the cosplay. I will still be doing cosplay, but I'd also like to do other videos just for the fun of it, just to see. So that's why I have my challenges up. That's why I'm going to look into doing some other ideas that I'm not going to talk about here because it might not. I don't want to disappoint anybody if it doesn't happen. But I am still doing cosplay. So don't think this isn't still cosplay. It's just cosplay with extra flavor. It's just a cosplay channel with extra flavor because why not? Because I don't have the access to do a whole lot of cosplay. Very limited. So I thought I'd supplement with some other things. Rose, do you need a hug? Another cramps? Does deserve a hug. What should I do to be evil this week, guys? Depends. What are you thinking of doing? Like, what do you have to do? We have planned this week. We can help with that. No, I wouldn't do that. It was the first thing we were ever in an interview. No, you're good, babe. I'm a little. Oh my god, you're up. I mean, probably true, but I don't know for sure. So. Have nothing planned, and my stepbrother is boring. So there is this one prank I've seen that's very harmless. It's just hilarious. So you take clear packing tape and you put it across the doorway at about neck height of the person you're trying to get, and you call them into the room so they can go through that door, and they'll get it stuck on them. It's hilarious. It's like getting clotheslined without it being painful. So I recommend that one. If it has like a desk chair that kind of goes up or down, or like this, like when you sit up it comes up and when you sit down it goes lower, you can always strap an air horn to it. That one's hilarious too. Like, these are harmless pranks that just make noise or an inconvenience. I'm not going to tell you to do anything mean, but it's just funny for you. What other pranks are there? Oh, you could do the tortilla challenge where you have a full glass of water in your mouth and you have to hold it while somebody slaps you the tortilla. It's pretty funny. If you want something entertaining to do with your stepbrother, you can do that because holy crap, those videos are great. So just a few harmless pranks that you could do, or a harmless challenge you could do. See who lasts longer in the slap challenge. I don't know why it's tortillas, probably just because it's ridiculous and it doesn't hurt. But yeah, I think it would be great. I'm like, some of these things I would love to do with my siblings, just because my siblings we get so competitive and we get so we can get downright nasty with each other when we want to. And I just think it would be fun to see how they would act in that challenge, especially my brother, because just how he acts sometimes would be fun. Oh, good. I'm glad, Shar. See, I never had to really do that, move houses. I didn't do that until I moved to this place. I've actually moved more houses in this state than I have any other. So I know about that, but I'm like, whenever people are like, oh, you moved? I'm like, yes, I moved states. They're like, oh, we just moved houses. I'm like, That's so weird. I don't even really count the moves I've done within this state as moving. I'm just like, I went from one house to another house. That's not moving. But other people count it. But I'm so used to it being you move states, whole ass states or whole ass countries. That counts as moving to me. But I grew up with a military family, so yeah, my perception of that is way skewed. I just thought it was weird when people said that they would move houses. Like, why would you leave your house? What was wrong with your house? I wouldn't understand. I had to move because of my dad's job. I'm like, why do people move houses? Why would they leave a whole house behind to another house that's in the same area? If you're going to move, make it worth it. And then I moved here and I kept moving houses. And now I understand that sometimes shit just happens and you have to move. It's like, I still don't want to. Still don't like packing up everything and moving it. It's been raining also. I love that. It has been 50 degrees here for 2 days and it was glorious. And it's supposed to only get up to 80 next week for a high. I'm loving it. I'm like, yay, no 91 this week. I will count that as a win. I survived. This is my reward. Oh no, Wolf. I'm sorry to hear about that. Landlord decided that they weren't going to renew with you guys. That sucks. Bye, Ira. It was good to see you. I hope you have a good week and a good weekend. I think we're going to get a cold front next week. Oh, I wish. Not really, because that would mean snow here. But yeah, I kind of just enjoying the cooler weather. Like I said, 50 is a perfect high. I loved it. It was so nice. I could actually turn off my AC and give it a break. That was nice. No snow in Louisiana, sadly. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't think snow can actually manifest in Louisiana, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, when I lived in Texas, we had snow for a day on Easter. Freak weird snowstorm. Didn't even really get that much snow. And yeah, that was just a really bizarre snow day. I did once when I was 7 or 8. Yes. Everybody can recall like the one time in the South that it snowed. I'm pretty sure everybody remembers that freaking ice storm. I felt bad for everybody there trapped in that ice storm. They lost power, lost water, all the damage, everything. I felt horrible. And everybody around, like on social media, was like, "Well, why, blah blah blah? Why weren't they prepared? Blah blah blah. Why this? Why that?" Like they don't expect it. They don't. You guys don't understand. They don't get cold in the same way other places get cold. They get cold where like 50 is you're wearing big puffy jackets. These people were literally not equipped to deal with that storm. No amount of preparation could have made them equipped because they themselves were not mentally ready for that. They didn't know what that meant. They never understood what it meant to get that cold, to have that much ice. They just mentally couldn't conceive it because a lot of them are native there. They've never left that state. They've never gone anywhere else that's really cold. Or if they did, it was vacation. So it was a novelty to them. They didn't understand that they really don't understand what the cold is. So they were not ready at all, mentally or physically, to get that ice storm. They decided to up rent by 60, then thought, you know what, let's just make you pay $350 extra for a house that's not even worth it. Wow. That's ridiculous, Wolf. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that your landlords decided to do that. We are lucky to get lots of frost. Yeah. I'd say anywhere that even remotely is something that gets some kind of cold, it's lucky because at least you're aware that it can happen. Lots of places in Texas are so hot. It's like a desert, so they definitely weren't ready for those ice storms and stuff. I felt horrible. New owners, what do you say? Fair enough. People get so money hungry sometimes. It's ridiculous. They don't even care about the people that are living in their buildings. We got lucky with ours, and they, like, even through COVID, we weren't expected to pay more. We still paid what we were obligated to, but we weren't expected to pay more. Even after COVID, we got the lease renewal, and it's only going up at $25. So, I mean, it's not great that it's going up every year, but I'm like, at least it's not jumping to like $1,200 or something, because for our rent is very cheap. Our rent is very cheap compared to a lot of places around town, and even within our building, the places that are empty are renting for close to $1,000. We don't even pay that much. So, and I mean, it's $1,000, and they're smaller units than ours, so I can only imagine how much ours would go for. So we're very lucky in that regard. So I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. I wonder what happened in the ocean. If the ocean could freeze, we would have huge problems because salt water doesn't freeze. It literally cannot freeze. It can get cold. It can have ice form on it, but it itself, salt water, cannot freeze. Ice skating or ice fishing. And it wouldn't get deep enough that it would stay, and the tides would be so strong that the ice would break up anyway, so it wouldn't even last long. It may be frozen, it may have froze, and we just don't know because the ice doesn't stay long enough. That could be how Antarctica came to be. It's just, it did freeze at one point, and then it all just got pushed to the bottom. That's all where everything got pushed to, was just the bottom of the world. And then that's how we got the North Pole, is everything else was pushed to that's what happened. It got divided up, north and the south, and it could have frozen it, and that's what the remnants are. That's how we got the North Pole, and Antarctica is just where everything was pushed when the oceans decided to move and break up the ice and everything. That's an interesting thought. Probably, it's definitely not true, but it would be an interesting idea that the ocean was frozen, but we never know because everything just gets pushed to one of those two places. Random thoughts. Not true. Never, definitely not true. I'm not going to say that that's scientific fact, and I've never even really heard of it. I just came up with it. It was a theory. They did have that. They did have that connecting Russia to Alaska. That one was that was a cool strip of land that connected Russia straight to Alaska. So people would just walk across the natural bridge to both continents. Worldwide panic. Yep, definitely. That would be very true. People would panic if they saw the ocean starting to freeze. Or it would be like that movie on Netflix where the meteor was coming and nobody gave a shit. That movie was messed up. All right, my lovely little Titans, it is that time. Thank you again for joining me for this wonderful hangout. I hope you have a great week. I hope you guys enjoyed the new video, and I hope to see you next week. Same time, same place for another installment of the hangout. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.